How's it? Today is Monday, October 14th. I have a plan. Last couple days have just been horrible, and that's kind of how life goes sometimes. My lower back has been really, really, really bad. Starting on, I guess, Tuesday, I was experiencing quite a bit of pain in my lower back when I bent over. Like, even when I go to tie my shoes, that amount of movement would just hurt. Like, sharp pain. It felt like when kind of a rubber band gets separated and then the two ends of the rubber band kind of come back together. That's what it would feel like. Like a little like kind of stretching pain and then a pretty sharp pain afterwards. I don't know if that's actually a good explanation of that, but that's how it felt. On Wednesday, pain was manageable. On Thursday, which is like my day off from the gym, I figured out that it's basically exactly the problem I had last year, where my core isn't working the way that it's supposed to work in space. And if I can actually get things to start moving properly, then my lower back starts to feel a lot better. And with that core movement, I also kind of looked at where my hip activation would be, like my glutes, and I found that actually helped a lot. But it was not enough to kind of overcome the pain on Friday. And Friday was the day where everything just kind of was the tipping point, and I just fucking gave up. I was so sore and sad. I was just I felt like a broken person, and I'm not happy about it, but I'm also not gonna lie about it online. This doesn't mean anything to me. Um, Saturday, I normally would have lifted on Saturday, but because Friday was so bad, I didn't lift at all. I actually started running, like like really running, and so I ran 1 mile and then I ran 2 miles. So I ran like 3 miles total, 1 mile before work and 2 miles after work, and it feels weird because when I'm running, I don't feel any pain in my lower back whatsoever. I don't lean as much forward as I need to feel the pain. So that's something I've been doing. So I ran 3 miles total on Saturday, and then I ran 3 miles again on Sunday after work. Feel perfectly fine. And today here, I'm just doing some snatches. The pain is still there for sure, but when I am kind of doing my overhead movement stuff to begin at the warm up, like snatch, push, press plus overhead squat, honestly, zero, 0 to 10% pain, 10%, 0 to 10 on a scale of 0 to 100. Yeah, it's not a lot of pain. It's definitely manageable, and as long as I catch the bar in the right spot, things are perfectly fine. As long as my hips don't allow my lower back to dip into flexion, things are perfectly fine. So I worked up to 80. I feel like there's still a shit ton of speed on the bar, and like that's something that is helping me a lot. Kind of think about what I'm doing for my actual lifting, like my snatch variation today. I wanted to do power snatches, so I was starting to warm up with the bar, and then this happened here at 40. I tried my best to get my hips set, and things just started to fucking hurt. So I made a change just so that I could do some amount of movement here. So I moved into hang power snatches, and to be honest with you, this feels like I'm just trying to have I'm just trying to like have a more positive perspective about where I'm moving. I don't know if it's necessarily good or bad that I'm able to do these today. Like, picking it up off of the ground is definitely not a pleasant feeling, but everything after that feels fine. So I made the decision to just continue with the hang power snatch, just do 3 triples at 60, and I don't think anything was really like troubling me for these weights at these reps, a save for that pickup off of the ground. But like I said earlier, if I have more hip activation, a little bit more core stability from that position, then it feels okay. So one thing I notice is that like when I get up off of chairs or off of stools, like this feels like such an old thing to be talking about. Like I'm only, can you guess how old I am? I'm not that old. Um, I'm 29, but it feels like my body is just not moving the way that I need it to. And so when I'm looking at like getting up off of chairs and getting up off of stools and stuff like that, if I notice that my right knee isn't tracking over my feet, then my lower back starts to hurt. But if I shift my weight a little bit to the right side, allow my right hip, my right glute to activate, then there's almost no pain. Like it's still one of those things where I have to really like think about it and like think about how I feel in that moment. Ooh. Also, after those peng power snatches, I was like, okay, let's see what happens if I can get my hips to start in the proper spot and be a little bit more methodical off the ground. And like I was able to power snatch these. Like it feels okay. This next one here at 80 was a bit precarious, but not because of the lift off the ground. It's mostly because that the catch was just like, what is that? What am I doing? What are we doing? Why are we here? But yeah, I mean, I think I'm founding. I'm founding. I found. Blah, 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 blah. I think I have found certain movements that I know I need to avoid, and certain movements that I do need to really think about moving forward with. So tomorrow's like a back squat day normally on Tuesdays, but there's no chance in hell that I'm gonna ever do fucking back squats tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be like a more directed rehab day where I'm looking at things that may or may help me in the recovery process, because I feel like I do have a plan. I feel like this plan needs to be a little bit more specific than it was last year, but you know I found certain things that do help, and that is the positive thing I am latching onto. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Shoots.